This is Serena's house. It's quite a project. When she took over, there was nothing here, and now she's turned it into an ecological oasis. Yeah, so let's go look at our eco-oasis. Serena's tending to her garden here. Hi, Serena.
Oh, hello, Sergio.
Hey, why don't you explain the whole setup here? It's very elaborate, and for most people anyway.
Okay.
What made you do this, first of all?
A little bit of insecurity about 2013, I guess. Wanting to grow as much food as possible on a small property, so I put in terracing and added lots of soil and compost and organic material and just started putting seeds in the ground and watering them.
No, you mentioned the future. This is not a bad model for the future. Even if we don't have a disaster, people growing their own food or supplementing their own food anyway, right?
I think everyone should be growing their own food, and I guess apart from the whole disaster scenario, I'm a big food advocate for local food especially, because it's just so important that we know where our food comes from and it's not coming off of big factory trucks and shipped using thousands of gallons of oil to get here and there when we could grow it ourselves.
This is all organic, what we're going to see, right?
Yep.
Realistically now in a plot like this, can you grow year-round? I mean, can you supply yourself with onions, for instance, right here?
Yep, onions do really
for the whole year?
Onions can grow year-round. Lettuces, greens, and you'll see there's these hoops here.
Yeah, point out some of the plants.
So this hoop is actually to support agrofabric, which I use during the winter and spring to protect the plants from the cold and also the wind and birds when they're new sproutlings.
So you're going to cover these in the winter, right?
Yeah, so they get covered. It'll be a whole new crop by then, so it would be smaller, of course, and everything would fit underneath here.
What else you got here?
I've got onions. This is a tomato plant. This is called lamb's quarter. It's a green that you can eat, high in protein. Over here I've got some things from the early spring and winter that I've let go to seed. Broccoli, dill, lettuce. This is lettuce. And I'm letting them seed so they can replant themselves there. I won't have to plant them.
Alright, let's keep going.
Over here. This is wild tobacco. It just comes up and I let it grow for shade. Over here we have about...
what do you use the tobacco plant for?
I don't use it for anything except for shade and beauty. It grows itself.
It grows wild here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got about 18 corn plants here, and they're planted with beans, so the beans and the corn will grow together. It'll be like a big wall of green here. These are also beans that reseeded themselves.
Not sweet peas, eh?
Nope.
Beans.
You want to try one?
There it is.
There's amaranth.
What is that called?
This is called amaranth. And
that's amaranth?
It grows wild around here. This is called garden amaranth. I didn't plant it though, it came up. And it's a really great plant because you can eat the leaves in a salad or stir fry. They're very, very high in protein and other minerals. And then they seed out, they're just starting to get buds. And the seeds you can pop and use like a grain. You can also cook them down. They've got a lot of gel to them though. And then they shade the other plants. And then also they're really great to feed the chickens. The chickens love to eat them. There's a bunch of tomatoes planted in with them. They're being slightly shaded, which is nice. It holds in some of the moisture. And there's a patch of beets here. And carrots. And we have a squash plant over here. And this is our new bed that we just planted with some celery, cucumbers, and peppers, and a new little dill over there.
Where are these flowers?
This is a giant leek that's just starting to flower. Look at that.
What is it?
A leek.
A leek?
Yeah.
It's like an onion type thing, isn't it?
These beans.
Wow.
So these beans are good to eat raw, like the one I gave you, green, or you can let them dry, and they're really beautiful beans for soaking and cooking that way.
They look pretty big. That's their size?
Yeah, that's how big they get. They're scarlet runner beans. This is Arizona sun blanket flower. So that's basically it for up here.
Okay, this is the upper level. Let's go down.
So this is the pea rolling.
Those are blueberries?
Yeah, there's 3 blueberry bushes down here. I've got them shaded with this agro fabric while they get rooted.
And this is the blueberry patch, right?
Yep, there's some blueberry bushes here. They're just planted about 2 months ago, bare root, so they've got their leaves. They're doing okay. There's another one, and this one here. And the bed here, the soil is a special blend, very light with peat moss and coffee grounds and things to make it acidic and light like a forest floor. Everything that grows in here is a high acid loving plant. Dianthus.
But the soil we got here is what, alkaline mainly, or?
Yeah. Over here is some mint and other starters that I kind of keep here for keeping an eye on them. It doesn't get too hot back here.
The starter plate. Let me ask you, for a typical person, right? Let's say you got a job or you're a mother. How much time does this take?
Well, getting it all set up is what really takes the time. Maintaining it isn't so bad, but it does take at least an hour a day.
Yeah, after you set it up, right?
Yeah, to just water and weed and maintain. If you stay up on it and work on it daily, then it doesn't take a huge amount of time every day. But
it is yourself. Besides, this avoids eating supermarket vegetables. What's wrong with supermarket vegetables, if anything?
Well, supermarket vegetables are less nutritious because they're often grown in soil that's either hydroponic, which is only adding the nitrogen, phosphorus, and just as little as they can to make them grow. It doesn't have all the minerals that you get out of a regular soil mixture. The food is often irradiated, which makes it last longer, but when you're eating irradiated food, who knows what does good for that. Also, a lot of it is genetically modified, and in this country we don't label it, and so we're eating things that we don't even know what are going to do to our bodies 20 years down the line. What else is bad about it? The amount of oil that is used to get it here, it's very wasteful.
Transportation, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are just a few reasons, I guess.
This is the chicken coop, where you get, what do they call, free-range eggs, right?
Yeah. And we've got a couple little ducks, too. We're going to hope to get some duck eggs.
There he is. Do you get surplus here, like you sell these to the mimosa or something, or?
I haven't.
Or give them away?
I've only had 4 chickens at a time, which is just enough for me to eat and maybe give a carton away to the next door neighbor or something. Did you see the cute little duckies?
Oh, these duckies. What do you use them for?
Eggs, also.
Oh, are they good?
Yeah, they're very good.
All right, as we go further, what do you got in here? Oh, that's the chicken coop.
I'm looking for eggs. Just to see if I've got any eggs in there.
She's checking for eggs.
No eggs.
Now, do they take a lot of care?
Not too much. Not too much. Just got to make sure you keep up on their water and their food, and that's about it.
Okay, give us a talk about why is it good to have chickens that, you know, are eating and roaming around like this rather than store chickens?
Well, a lot of the store chickens, unless you make a point of buying like free range or happy chicken eggs, they live their entire lives in an itty-bitty cage just big enough for them to stand up in. And so they don't live a very happy life. They're just a product for us to consume. At least these chickens have some sort of a life. They get to peck around and eat bugs and not just be treated with hormones and all kinds of, I can't think of the word.
I'm saying you can taste the difference, so happiness must be important.
Yeah, and it makes me feel better about eating the eggs to know that the chickens are happy and I know what they're eating.
Now she's going to show us her, she recirculates water here and uses every drop. You explain it.
Okay, so this is the front yard, and up here is our flower bed, and down here is where we grow all of our greens, various different greens. And if we actually take a little walk to the corner of the property, I have a gray water system set up. And so whenever I take a shower or wash clothing, the water that comes out is gray. Kitchen sink water is not allowed to be used. That's considered black. So the gray water comes out, and instead of going to the sewer, it gets pumped into these tanks, which are a filtration system filled with sand and gravel. So the water goes through and gets cleaned out, and then it ends up in this larger holding tank below.
Okay, and the water comes from the house, your sink, your washing machine, and so forth?
Yeah, not the kitchen sink.
Not the kitchen.
Only the washing machine and the shower. Kitchen water is black. It's not usable.
Okay.
There's too much oil in it.
So this is a gray water system, and it comes down here.
So it gets filtered through the blue tanks, and then it ends up here where it is pumped to the garden beds. And
what are the blue tanks for?
Filtration.
Huh?
They are filters.
Filters.
They're filled with sand and gravel.
And that's enough, huh?
Yeah, oh, that's funny.
And if you're going to water the whole yard with this, right? You got...
Yep.
It's a nice view of her garden. Anything special up here I should know about?
Well, this is actually special that you get to see it blooming right now. The yellow flower is called the evening primrose, and it blooms in the evening, and it only blooms once, and so it's blooming right now. It's carrying over from last night. It's very pretty.
It's a primrose, you say?
Uh-huh.
Huh. That's beautiful. We already discussed those. This is a house with art on it. Where's Barley?
Barley!
There he is.
There's Mr. Barley. He's a mascot. He's a boy.
Plus he protects this place. Hi, Barley. We could end it with him, huh?
Yeah.